What's up, geometry students? This is our first lesson in polygons, and it talks about the interior angles of regular polygons. And there's two formulas that you've seen. They're basically the same thing. The first one is the sum of the interior angles. So if they ask you to find the sum of the interior angles, you're going to be using this formula right here. The second one is they're probably going to give you the number of sides, they're going to give you the shape, and they're going to ask you to find the measure of one interior angle, which is this formula right here. But enough talking, let's see how these actually work. Oh, what happened there? Slide that over. All right, so here we go. First problem says, what is the sum of the interior angles in a quadrilateral? When you see those, what is the sum of the interior angles? You're going to be thinking of that first formula that we circled up here, the n minus 2 times 180. And then the other thing you have to know is what's a quadrilateral. Hopefully remember that that means it has 4 sides. And we have 3 easy steps to do these problems. Step 1, we write the formula. So the formula is n minus 2 times 180. Step 2 is where you plug in the values. So we know it's a quadrilateral, it means it has 4 sides, so we plug in that 4 for n. So now we have 4 minus 2 times 180. And now step 3, you solve it by putting it into the calculator. And what you end up getting is 360 degrees. Pretty simple, right? You just plug it in, solve it. All right. Number 2, it might get a little harder. Let's see what's going on with number 2. Number 2 says the sum of the interior angles of a polygon is 900 degrees. How many sides does the object have? So here we're looking for the sides, but it's still a sum of interior angles problem. So the formula we're going to use is still that n minus 2 times 180. Okay. Now, the question here is, it gives us what that equals. It actually gives us that it equals 900 degrees. So we can go ahead and plug that in, right? Because it's asking us for the number of sides. And we know that n stands for the number of sides. So that's like our variable. So now, we take a look at how this is going to work. So now what we have is, we have like an algebraic equation. Here, I'm going to rewrite it right here. We have this 900 equals n minus 2 times 180. And it's something you've seen before. How do we get rid of those parentheses? Well, we distribute. Very good. I think we're going to do one of those. So we have 900 equals 180 times n, which is 180n, minus 360. And from here, I know you all know you have to get the variable by itself. We're going to add 360 to both sides. And what we're going to end up with is 1260 equals 180n. Get n by itself. And what we end up getting is a final answer. Drum roll, please. It's 7. So that means the number of sides in this object was 7. So that's 2 examples of problems that you're going to see with the first formula. That's this n minus 2 times 180, the first one. But what about the second one when they want us to find the measure of one interior angle? Well, let's see what that looks like. So example 3 says, what is the measure of an interior angle of a regular triangle? So when they ask you for the measure of an interior angle or one interior angle, you're going to want to think of that second formula. Let's write that formula, n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. Now we know n is the number of sides of our object. Well, what object do we have? It's a triangle. We all know a triangle has 3 sides. So now we're just going to take that 3 and we're going to plug it in for n. So down here we're going to end up with 3 minus 2 times 180 all over 3. And that you can plug into your calculator, and what you're going to end up getting is 60 degrees. So that means the measure of one of the interior angles of a triangle is 60 degrees. So that's how you can use that. The other way you might see it is maybe they give you the interior angle, that one angle, and you have to work backwards. Kind of like what we saw before. But let's look at example 4. It says the measure of one of the interior angles of a regular polygon is 150 degrees. How many sides does the object have? So once again, we're solving for sides, and they gave us this one of the interior angles. So when we see that one of the interior angles, we think of the formula we just used, which is n minus 2 times 180 all over n. So why do we have to ask ourselves? It's a regular polygon, that doesn't give us any information. But oh, they said that it was equal to 150 degrees. So we know that we should end up with 150. And so you know what that means. That means you're gonna have to do some simplifying. But don't stress, because you're amazing at this already and you don't even know it. Like for example, you know how to get rid of a fraction. You're gonna multiply both sides by n. These n's are gonna go away, and you're gonna end up with n minus 2 times 180 equals 150n. This is gonna look a lot like number 2, the problem we did before, where you have to distribute to get rid of those parentheses. So you end up with 180 times n minus 360 equals 150n. And then we gotta get our n's on the both sides. So we'll subtract by 180. Subtract by 180. And you end up with this negative 360. Keep track of your signs. Negative 30n. Divide by the negative 30 on both sides. And you're gonna get a final answer of, what is that, 12? Does that sound right? I think it sounds right. And it's 12. And so there, you've seen the 4 types of problems they're gonna throw at you. I think you're gonna do a great job with interior angles, and best of luck.